All right, so
You move it like based on what is it? No, my one is it'll be X.
all right, so homework question. Any question you want me to go over?
This
No. Everything's fairly easy. Okay.
You should explain it.
You explain it.
yeah.
Yep.
Could you go over
Sure. Which one?
59?
59. Okay, somebody says, can I go 59? Sure, let's look at 59. I don't know what question 59 is. 59 says, graph f of g, the same rectangle, could find the point intersection of the two graphs. Okay, so if they're intersecting, they must equal each other. If they equal each other, then you can try to solve. So, if I have 2 to the x plus 1 is equal to 2 to the negative x plus 1. And since they base on the same, so you can just set the exponent equal to each other. And then it's going to give you 2x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. That's 58? Oh, okay. 59 is what?
Y bar to X and X equals to 1.
Okay. So basically that just inversed each other. And that's a very good thing because we're going to use that today. So 59, it says y equal to 2 to the x, right? Now, if you realize x equal to 2 to the y, it's the inverse function. So if normal coordinate is going to be like this, this is a 2 to the x. Okay, so this is going to be like this. So instead of this is 0, 1, this is going to be 1, 0. And this is what? 1, 2, right? So it'll be 2, 1. Does that make sense? And this one is going to give you 2, 4, so it's 4, 2, like this. So the graph's going to be like this. Okay. So this one is going to be, this one's a good question to lead to today's topic, x equal to 2 to the y. Now, also, this is actually known as, so you might want to write this down for your notes. This is the y equal to 2 to the x. This one's x equal to 2 to y. It's also known as y equal to log 2 of x. It's like inverse function. The inverse of exponential is logarithm. So we're going to get to that. So this equation is this. Please write out in your notes because that's what we're going to be doing today. But I do want to finish something else, talk about value. Okay. Make sure you put this on your notes. This is a log 2 of x graph. Log 2 of x graph. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but we're going to start with the e. Okay, start with today, I decided to open a bank. And this is a Mr. Ye's bank. But in this bank, since I gotta pay you interest, if you deposit money, I gotta pay you interest. And I cannot afford too much because I want to teach a salary. So you can only deposit me $1. Okay, so you can only deposit $1. But I'm gonna give you the best interest rate I can give it to you. What do you think the best interest rate I can give to you? What? 7 or 8%? Oh, yeah, that's better than average right now. But I might be very generous. The interest rate is 100%.
So that's like $100.
No, that doesn't mean $100, but it's 100%. 100%. Okay. So remember that P equal to 1 plus R over N to the NT equation. We're going to implement to here. So we start with A equal to $1 of 1 plus 100, so it'll be 1, right? Over, if I have compound annually, it's going to be 1 to the 1 times 1. So this is compound annually. So it'll be equal to 1 times 2 to the 1 power is equal to $2. So that means at the end of the year, if I give you 100% interest, no, you don't get $100. You're going to get $2. Right, just say, not too bad. You give me $1, I give you $2. That's a good return. That's a very good return within 1 year. Now you say, okay, well, Monsieur, I don't want to compound just once. I want to compound multiple times. Fine. We can do semi-annually. So A equal to 1 times 1 plus 100% interest rate. How many times we compound? 2. But this one's going to be 2 times 1. Does that make sense? So that means I'm going to break that 100% interest to 50% interest. And if it's a 50% interest, then I'm going to charge you 2 times. So at end of the half year, I'm going to calculate 1 interest. And I'm going to use that same interest to calculate the second charge. So in this case, will be 1 to the 1.5 to the 2 power. Do you know how much is it? Well, 1.5 to the square is 2.25. So it'll be 2.25. So if you just change it from annually to semi-annually, automatically you're going to increase another 25 cents, which is I still can afford even with all you guys, right? You deposit $1 and a year I'm going to do this much. You say, well, wait, can you give better compound? Now you understand that every time we compound, right? So every time we compound, it's gonna calculate again. So I'm gonna compound like say monthly. So it'll be 1 times 1 plus 1 over whatever monthly. It's gonna be 12 and over 2, not 12. It's gonna be 12 times 1, right? So this time it's gonna compound every end of the month. End of the month, I'm going to generate some interest. I'm going to use the same interest to generate the second month. And second month's interest is going to generate for the third month. So you are additional, you have a little bit more. So can you guys tell me the number? I don't know what is it, but it's probably 12 point something. So can you tell me what was the, using your calculator, can you tell me what will be the value? Two point what?
0.61.
2.61. Hey, I still can afford this. Even with all you guys. 30 of you guys, you give me $30. I can multiply by 2.61. I can afford to give you like 70 some dollar or 70 or $70. That's fine. No problem. And you say, well, how about instead of doing monthly, can I do even better, like daily? Right? 1 plus 1 over 365 to the 365 times 1. Can somebody work out this number and tell me what it is?
2.
What is it? 2.71 what? One more digit.
4.
4? 2.714? Is that okay? You say, okay, well, 2.714 is good. But hopefully you start seeing what I ask you to see. How about we says we can compound every second. So be 1 plus 1 over 365 times what? That's 24 hours, right? And every hour has 60 minutes and 60 seconds, right? And this is 365 to the 24 to the 60 times 60. Give me 3 decimal places. Using, like, you can use decimals, you can use graphing calculator, you can use
2.718.
Does that sound very familiar?
Ain't that one
It's
thing?
not
That E.
That's E. The value of E. The value of E saying is as if I give you 100% interest and I calculate every single second I can possibly calculate. Every single second. Every moment I'm going to charge you interest. Every moment I'm going to charge you interest. But if you realize it's not it's not unlimited amount of money, is some value is going to start with 2 to 2.25 to 2.61 all the way to 2.718. That's the cap. So even 100% interest, I can afford all you guys. Because if I have 29 students, and if I times 3, so that's going to be $87. I can afford it, even with teacher salary. You can deposit $1 for me. I'll end it to give you $2.72. And that's where the value of E come from. The E is assume that you have 100% interest and you compound as many times as possible. It's a really natural number. It's a number that it occurs around the world on everything. You can calculate how many bacteria growth in a petri dish. You can calculate a lot of things. Population growth. This is called a natural growth. And that's why yesterday, if we say compound continuously, we have to use a value E rather than, because continuously means every second, every even half second. It doesn't matter how many times I break up, it's going to cap out at around 2.718. It does not go anything to 2.719. It's going to stop at 2.718. That's the maximum. And that's a value E. Okay, so you guys got that? So there we go. That's the introduction of E, the value of E. Now you know where the E is from. So yesterday, some people says, I think Gabby says, I don't know what's value E. How do I graph it? E is just a number between 2 to 3. It's okay. It's between 2 to 3. So graph of 2 and graph of 3 is very similar. Yesterday we already talked about if I graph y equal to 2 to the x, it's going to be like this. Y equal to 3 to the x, it's going to be like this. Now y equal to e to the x is somewhere in between there. Now next year we're going to learn something cool about e, which is the green line. The slope of the e, it's interesting. At every single point, they have a very interesting ideas. Any question about this part? It's just between 2 and 3. So if you say don't know how to graph E, if you know how to graph 2 to the x, you can graph exact same graph. There's no difference. And this is a 1 over E, then it's gonna be inverse. It's gonna be symmetry to y-axis. Gonna go the other way. Just say y equal to 1 over e to the x. It's like 1/2 to the x. It's just going the other way, right? It's gonna be the opposite of this. Not a problem. That's e to the negative x, by the way. If you're wondering what's e to the negative x graph, it's gonna go the other way. Okay. So now let I show you this. Now we're gonna go back to talk about the question that Winston asked me. So y equal to 2 to the x. This graph is gonna give you a very easy t-chart. X and y. -2 is gonna be 1/4. -1 is gonna be 1/2. 0 is 1. 1 is 2. 2 is 4. So it's gonna give you some graph like this. So it's gonna give you this graph. It has an asymptote at 0. And it has an anchor point at 0, 1. Now what happened is, if I have an inverse, right? If I have inverse. So the inverse function. So what is inverse? Inverse of y equal to 2 to the x. It'll be x equal to 2 to the y, right? I just switched the x and y. Now, your t-chart for this one is going to be in red. If I just have x and y here, if I have 1/4, it's going to give you -2. So 1/4 is going to give you -2. It's like this. Is 1/2 is going to give you -1. 1/2 is -1. Something like this. If 1, it's going to be 0. 1 is going to be 0. M's 2 is going to be 1, and 4 is going to be 2. Now, if you realize the red line has a asymptote here, because, and they also have a inverse ideas. So this one is y equal to 2 to the x. This one's x equal to 2 to the y. Now, we're going to introduce log for the first time. There is a few property we're going to go over with log. And before we do that, we're going to show you. So let's just say 2 to the 3rd power is equal to 8. This is called exponential form. This is called exponential form. This is known as a base. This is known as an exponent. And 8 known as the output. Now you can convert to the exponential form. The exponential is going to start with a log. And this is going to be a base. 2, this is a base. Now some of you guys don't remember how do you write a log, and it's really easy. One of the teacher, she hates me. Actually a lot of teacher hates me. I don't know why. I'm not very likable. So, her name is Miss Nguyen. She teach in Cypress Creek, my old school. She teach calculus, and at the time I teach algebra too. But she, like, one thing I had to give her credit is she helped me with teaching student how to do a log. I went up to her, I asked her, says, "Hey, Miss Nguyen, can you teach me how to teach student log?" She's like, "Just very easy to do. It's very easy to remember this. Is start with a base and you draw a sideways heart. Like this is heart. You draw a sideways heart. So start a base, you're gonna start with a sideways heart. It's gonna be log 8 is equal to 3, like this. You can think about ice crack, yeah, if you want to. Whatever flow your boat. If you get the right answer, I don't think I can think however you like. Okay. So you can do the same thing by start a base here, and you can draw a sideways heart here. So be 2 to the third power is equal to 8. You just convert back. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do to this equation. We're gonna do to this equation. 2 to the y is equal to x, right? We start with a base and draw a sideways heart. Does that make sense? So it'll be log 2 of x is equal to y. Do you see how you change this to this format? And that becomes y equal to log 2 of x graph. And we learn how to changing from one format to the other format. Your job is to very similar. Your job is to, let's say, hey, if I have 2 to the, I don't know, 10 power is equal to 1024. So can you change this to log format? What will be a log format here? Log 2, 1024 is equal to 10. Good job. You can convert back if you want to. So it'd be 2 to the 10 is equal to 1024. Got it? Very easy, right? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you some situation. So I am going to go find a worksheet. I'm going to airdrop to you. That's your homework. Well, we're going to do this worksheet for a couple days, and you need to understand everything about this worksheet. So this worksheet starts right here. It's going to be a long worksheet, but that's everything you need to know for this test. I think I will assume. So if you turn on your airdrop, I can airdrop to you. It's actually taking forever. It's not even moving. No, it's not long. 4 pages.
I didn't get it.
I think there's something wrong with the Wi-Fi. Am I still streaming? Why will we use for Isaac Rodriguez? He's not here. He's asking question at home.
What do you think?
It work? Somebody got it? Yeah, I can. You can post on WhatsApp. I think it's taking forever. Olivia sent.
Did it work?
Yeah. Bruh, I gotta send
It
it.
didn't work.
ascending. Okay, so people are asking log. What is a log?
Oh,
Yeah, like sine, cosine, and tan.
yeah. Because you're taking like 8.
This is a good study guide for your next test. It's a lot of questions gonna be from here. Uh-huh.
All of like the whole worksheets are just tonight.
No, not homework. We're gonna start assign slowly. You post it on group chat? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so let's just say we're gonna pick a question. For the first question, which one you want to do? Oh, sorry, that would have helped. First question. First question. There's 12 parts. Which one would you want to do?
The first one.
What?
Well, I think it just said this one.
Okay, we can do 12. 12. You guys assume that's the hardest one.
10. It didn't say.
10 is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Pretty
let's do 10 then. So just do what you can do is draw a sideways heart. So convert to exponential form. So it'd be 9 to the negative 1/2 is equal to y. Well, that's equal to 1 over 9 to the 1/2. Does that make sense? That's equal to 1 over 3. And there you go. You got it. The answer is 1 over 3.
Okay, flip it.
You can pick any question. You can pick 12. You can pick 11. 11 is kind of hard. So try 11.
Wait, how's this supposed to think?
Try 11.
Well, the root gives how size.
How do you do it?
It's not.
Which one did you get?
2 squared of 9. Just
You can try 11. 11's kind of hard. 11's probably the hardest question there.
minus 4.5. Remember when you're racing a number to thing like you do gives power?
Yeah.
No, like the sun. I don't remember.
Here, a to the m over n is equal to n root of a to the m. So this is roots, right? This is the power, right? And think about a tree. Yeah, the tree is like green. This ugly tree has a brown roots. Brown roots right here. And there's a sun here. I draw like second grader, I swear. So there's a power and this is roots. So power over roots always is power over roots. That's an easy way to see it.
Oh.
But in order to do grow a tree, you're gonna grow roots first before you do power. So usually you take care of the roots before you take care of the power. Does that make sense?
Power over root.
Yeah, see, this is the power here. This is the power over roots. Right? It's power over roots. The sun is above the roots.
Yeah.
No, can you do 11? You can do it.
1 over 3.
Maybe London can do it.
What?
11. Question 11 on the first one. Okay. Nobody figure 11? Anybody figure 11? What'd you get?
I got -3/2.
-3/2? Okay. Okay. You want to explain on the board? Sure, can you? Erase last side. Don't erase the names. She's gonna go through it. No, just everything on the right hand side. Don't erase the names. The names I needed for different reason. On everything on the right side is fine. Yeah, those are fine. Those you can erase those. Log 4 and 1/8 equal to y.
And then 4 is basically 2 to the second power. And then 1/8 is basically 2 to the -3rd. So we get 2y equals
Thank you. Awesome. Does that make sense? Is this okay? Okay, so I'm going to talk about other properties, so you might want to write down those properties. So they are common log. By the way, Isaac, right now he's not here, but he's online listening to my lecture, which is, what do we use log for? Log can use for different things. For example, some of you guys taking chemistry class. Everybody's taking chemistry, AP or okay. So Winston, when do you use log at chemistry class? You're supposed to know that. Okay, I'll remind you. No. Log, if I just write down normally without writing down anything, that implying is a common log with a base of 10. That's a base of 10. pH, thank you. So if you're in chemistry, pH is equal to negative log of hydrogen ion. So sometimes people says, when do I use log? pH. You're gonna use log a lot to different math classes, different science classes. For example, earthquake scale. Earthquake scale is also in terms of logarithm. So, have you been through earthquake? Anybody been through earthquake here before? Yeah, a bunch of Floridians never been through earthquake. So do you know what's the most common place to have earthquake in the world? Okay, do you know the term that the place that has the most earthquake, what's it called?
Earthquake.
The Ring of Fire. Have you guys heard of that? You did say that? Yeah. Good job. The Ring of Fire is basically a ring from like Malaysia to Taiwan to Japan to Alaska to California to Argentina, Chile, and so this is called Ring of Fire. This is where all the earthquake most commonly like to exist. Japan every building is, they go through earthquake like every 2 or 3 months. Yeah, so it's pretty common over there. When I grew up in Taiwan. We go through earthquake. So earthquake has few different kind. The earthquake could be like shake this way, lightly, like you can feel like wobble a little bit. That's normal. That's like earthquake 1, or like maybe 2 or 3. And then you can go like this, like very wildly, like this. Now when you get to 6, it's gonna go like this. Yes, and that's why you see the crack on the roads. The roads can crack. Right now they just have earthquake 7 and near California, so they thought it's gonna have tsunami. That happened yesterday. It happened yesterday. They thought it's a tsunami. So now what happened? Imagine that you have this, like this, but you have ocean of water inside, right? So the water, if the earthquake happened like near the coast, so what happened is they're gonna push the water up, right? Push all the water up, and then it's gonna create a wave, and that's how the tsunami happened. Tsunami happened in Japan about 2012, 2018, 2000, between 12 to 2018. Fukushima, you guys ever hear the term? Fukushima happened last 10 years or last 15 years. So the tsunami actually bring all the water and whoosh and just go inside inland, go into like 10 miles. Like not only like, go into 10 miles. So there was a nuclear plant right next to Fukushima. So the water just ran over it. So even till this day, that nuclear plant still leaking nuclear waste throughout to the oceans, even till this day. Okay, the whole town is basically wiped out. It was nuclear, like, it's like another place that you can know for history is Chernobyl in Russia. Have you heard that term before, Chernobyl?
Yeah.
Chernobyl in Russia is where the also something happened.
The
Nuclear power plant, and then no, you cannot live there. If you live there, you get cancer. Like within a few months, you get cancer. That's for sure. Same thing as Fukushima. Yeah, so a lot of things that you can think about those things. Like I'm trying to relate things to your life. So pH is wonderful. So pH is, if you in the chemistry, you know that you have hydrogen ion. You can have 0.1 molar and negative log of 10. Now you're gonna say, well, what's 0.1 molar? You're gonna say, oh, okay, well that's pretty easy. That means log 10 of 0.1 is equal to x. So that means 10 to the x equal to 0.1. What is 0.1? 1 over 10. 10 to the x. 10 to the x equal to 10 to the 1. So x equal to negative 1. So that means if you have 0.1 molar, then pH is going to be equal to 1. Okay, so you're going to say log is not useful. It's used for chemistry. It's used for the earthquake scale. It's used for sound. The sound, the decibel sounds, is also in logarithm scale. So a lot of things that you got to think about, all those things can relate it to a real life. And so that's pH. So can you tell me what is log 10 of, let's say 0.01 molar? So pH is equal to this. If we have 0.10 molar of hydrogen ion, what do you think that pH is? No. It's actually 2. Because you think about it, right? Log 10 of 0.01 is equal to x. 10 to the x equal to 10 to the negative 2, right? So x equal to negative 2. So that means pH is equal to negative 2. That's equal to 2. So yes, that's pH. you can probably assume 0.001 molar is going to be pH of what? 3, because you moved 3 decimal places. Okay. With that being said, I want to talk about a couple of properties. So if you have log base of 10, that means log. Now, you also have log base of b. So log base of b of 1 is equal to 0. That's a basic properties. Why? Anything to the 0 power is 1. Do you see that? B to the 0 is 1. Do you see that? Also, log b of b is equal to 1. You're going to be like, what does that mean? Well, b to the 1 power is b. Log b of b to the x is equal to x. These two is inverse to each other. One is log, one is exponential. They cancel out. They're just going to get b. X, sorry. You can have a b log of b of x is equal to x. So this is a property. You might need it today. Your homework is not a lot. It's gonna be done in like literally like not too long. It's probably like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It's just owning the question 1, question 2, and also as well as question 4 and question 5. So 1, 2, 4, and 5. They are very easy, I promise you. It does not take long. Oh no, you guys don't get 10-hour homework into calculus. Calculus, yes. Winston was there for a few days. He will tell you there's a lot of homework. That's why Winston come here. He's like, nope, I'm not doing calculus.
He's the one that teased me. He told me to drop out. I was like, yeah, if you tell me, I'll.
Thank you, Landon. You're taking calculus next year. You'll be fine. You'll be.
How does the inverse of a polynomial look like? Inverse of a polynomial function.
You can't really inverse polynomial.
I can't.
You can inverse quadratic, but polynomial usually you'll fail horizontal one time.
Yeah, because like, they're already kind of like. Yeah.
What's up?
For question 2, would this be like undivided? Because I did the.
No. 3 to the what power is equal to 1? 3 to the what power?
3 to the 1 power is equal to 1. No. 2 to 0.
Yes. So y is equal to 0.
Oh, yeah.
You ready for the?
Can you put it? Where do you put it?
What?
Where do you put it?
For what?
Set it up.
For what?
The second.
Oh, I don't know if we have room to set the second table. I was gonna do it outside, but outside smell today.
Oh wait.
Yeah, I don't want to go outside today. We might have to like stack up the chairs on some chair, but some people come after school tutoring too, so it'll be like we can probably move everything like how about all the pizza?
I can't stay for very long today, unfortunately.
No?
Yeah, I gotta go to Jacksonville for volleyball.
Oh, can you come in the math tournament or no?
Yes.
Both days?
I'm free both days. Of January
25th.
25th. That's good too. And,
Okay, so 25th and the 15th.
yeah, that's better.
February 15th, January 25th. So